So since in our previous video we're able to learn how to make use of this of the logistics regression that we actually used to make prediction, but the data we actually made use to make prediction was actually a small amount of data, which is actually this small data. So in this video we're going to make use of one of the Scikit-Learn built-in data set that I can actually use to actually train yourself on that of the machine learning itself. So it belongs to that of the Scikit-Learn data set, which we can actually import from that of the Scikit-Learn, our Scikit-Learn data set. The name is actually that of the iris data set. This iris data set actually have to do with that of the prediction of flowers. So that was basically Scikit-Learn already prepares data for us. So it has that of the data, the features we are going to send in, and that of the target itself. So we are going to import our load, which actually load a whole lot of load breast cancer, diabetes, digit files, iris, the whole lot of them, sample image in case you want to do image recognition, SVM, which is the support vector machine light files, support the whole lot of the load one, but we're interested in this of the iris. So there are a whole lot of data set that Scikit-Learn tend to provide for you for your in case if you want to go into machine learning, that so you don't need to actually run around to actually start looking for data all around. But advantage of actually making use of real life data for your stores is that it's a real life store. It's not something that maybe arbitrarily or anything, but so real life scenario is actually a good idea. But these data that Scikit-Learn tend to provide for us are more like the simulated type of data. So but let's actually make use of them, and then remember that when we ran this initially, to make use of the arbitrary data set that Scikit-Learn already provide for us, make things a little bit easier, and they have a whole lot of data. So we can actually just comment all this guy out and then make use of it. Let's actually go down a little bit. So we are going to have our x. Our s is now going to be that of the iris. I think that was load iris dot what data. I think that was it. Load iris. Sorry, it's going to be. Our df is now going to be, what have I done? Here we can make our df to be this of the load underscore iris that we actually use. So it's going to be our df dot what data, and then for our y is going to be our df dot what I think that was target. So it has already been structured properly for us. Remember that on our previous video we were able to do for this, or you make use of this S-train model, logistic regression, fit, and this of the model that predict, y predict. We're able to look at that of the accuracy score, the confusion matrix, the classification report. So let's actually look at this of our, let me comment this guy, let me go up again. Let's look at this of our x. Let's print our x. Sorry, remember that this, let me just put it x so we know what we are dealing with. So we can say we want to get our x. This is going to be our s, and for that of the y, I want us to also do for that of the y. So here is going to be our y. This is going to be our, let's actually see that of the value. And something else I want us to do is actually to know the features, because the way it's being, it have already said that of the dot value. So only the values that is what is being outputted, we can see that of the features that we are actually using. So we can say our df dot what feature underscore names. Simple as that. Let's actually run this. So as it's running, so other things that we also want to look at, we want to reduce this of our test size to 2, because we're not going to change really much here. And this logistic regression tends to have a whole lot of parameter. Let's actually logistic regression, so we're still going to fit it with that of the train, and then we're going to actually predict that of the S test, and then we're going to look at the we're not interested in this of the S test that is here. We're not interested in it. Let me just comment it. But we're not interested in that of the S test. And also for this of the Y pred, we're not interested on it. We're only interested on just predicting that of the S test. So we're not interested on this of the S. We're not interested on this of the S test and this spread. We're going to get rid of that. So as you can see, this is our our data set, and this is our Y. You can see the Y here. This signifies this is our target, and then we have this of the X, which is for our X. Right here, this is for our X, and this is the feature names that this data set tends to provide. How that of the sepal length, the sepal width, the petal length, and that of the petal width. This is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, like how we actually go expected. So when we look at this of our Y, we now have two can say three can say three. When I mean three, I mean like three discrete value that we're trying to map into. So with that being said, let's actually just implement it. They were going to look at that of the accuracy score, because the accuracy score now is no longer going to be what we actually got earlier, like how we're getting like 100%. Right now we're going to get something different. Remember, you can actually set extra parameter. If you like, I can't remember most of the parameter, but you can over it on this of if you're using VS Code. You can look at some parameters. They will have this of the penalty automatically is set to L2. I think that's also true. So we have that of the class weight. As I said, that of the class weight, the random state. You can also come here to set all those things. So you can actually come here to set our random, and that was random. So you can also set it to 2. In case if you want to get more, you can go over to that of the Scikit-Learn documentation to read more on that, or you can actually check some of them. Here they are not actually pretty hard to actually get. Just go one of the mass iteration. Because they say for that of the mass iteration, default is set to 100. Default is set to 100, but you can actually set it maybe something like 105. Remember that before you can actually send some of all these guys, they tend to have that of the rules and regulation and high amount of values that you can actually set them. But as of now, I'm not actually interested in setting any extra parameters. So I just want us to look at this model, because the next video we're going to do for that of decision tree, then we're going to compare without setting any parameters on this of the logistic regression, that of the decision tree. We're going to see which one performs better. Remember, this is our Y, and this guy up here is our X. Is quite a whole lot of data actually there. So we're going to remember that I'm not interested in getting that of the data that was being used for that of the testing purpose. So that's what I get, and I'm not interested in getting that of the prediction. I'm all just interested in getting that of the accuracy score, the confusion matrix, and this of the classification report. So what was actually predicted, I don't think I'm interested in that also. I'm not actually interested in that. The accuracy score, the confusion matrix, and the classification report is basically going to show me all this. So we have the Y test, the Y spread. Y spread is what was actually being predicted. So I'm going to see how well the logistic regression performs on this of the data without any parameter tuning, or without any, you can say, any extra adding of any extra parameter, just the data directly to logistic regression with all the default parameter that has been set by the creator already. Predicted that of the X test, and then that what was actually being predicted is actually what was being predicted with that of the initial, which is actually that of the Y test. So we try to get the accuracy score. When we look at the accuracy score that we have here, let me actually print this up. The accuracy score, we get the accuracy score to be 100%. The confusion matrix, this is the confusion matrix, and they will have for that of the classification report. For the classification report, we had that of the precision to be doing good, the record, the F1 score, everything looks wonderful. So I'm quite surprised for this of the model. Okay, everything looks great. Our X, hope this is not actually look great. So this is how you can basically just make use of some data that is available out there to actually some of all those data that Scikit-Learn already provide or can make use of real life data. But as we go on, we're going to make use of real life data. For some of all this data, some prediction that is doing here, I'm still confused on some of them. To actually give a whole amount of a whole roll of data is actually getting 100%. Maybe it's a type of linear type, or maybe a simple. Maybe it's a simple type of data. So I've now actually gone through to where I'm much on this data, but this is the type of data you can actually use, all these built-in data that Scikit-Learn tend to provide for us. In case if you are still new to that of the machine learning, you don't have any I can say real world or existing data available, so you can make use of all these built-in data sets that Scikit-Learn already provides. So consider we're able to make use of it to actually use logistic regression to actually train it, need to fit it to that of the X train, Y train on that of our X and Y, and then we're able to get the accuracy score of 100%, the confusion matrix, we're able to get the confusion matrix and the classification report. The classification report actually says that the model actually is actually performing really well on this of the data. So I was surprised that logistic regression was able to solve this kind of problem. Remember that logistic regression is actually that of the classification based model. So I think this is where we are going to end for this video. If you find this video anywhere useful, subscribe. It's not going to be a problem. So I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.